March 2023. I have put some CV here. This is just, some random CV of someone, but I would say it's a very typical one. A typical one. Maybe something happened with the formatting while I was moving it around, but the idea is there. This is someone who has just graduated from some UX/UI design course, and this lady is wants to start applying, right? She's got 2 pages, and all these things she has put together. So any things you'd like to maybe first, I would ask you, if anything catches your eye and you would immediately say, this could be done to improve it. Any ideas?
One thing that I listen a recommendation to have only 1 page for your CV. It's more useful.
Exactly.
Than 2 or 3 or 5 pages. They have HRs have only 5 seconds first time to see your CV, and that's why I do only 1 page. And this is really difficult to say about yourself in 1 page, but it's necessary.
Exactly. Lots of people say, I have so many projects to speak about, may I go with 2 pages? The recommendation is to go with 1, but it's just for those who have 10 plus years in the industry and you've got a lot of very relevant experience. Okay, you can go with 2 pages. Or maybe for freelancers who have been working on a lot of different projects and you want to put them on 2 pages, maybe you could go with 2. But still, you could cut it down to the most relevant things and still show them on 1 page. So yeah, I think this Kate, let's say this is Kate, I changed the name and surname, could squeeze it into 1 page, definitely. There is a lot of white space left, right? So that's what she could do for sure. Right. The first thing, someone mentioned about 5 seconds. I have 6 seconds that HRs have to look through the CV. So it's very important for it to be single page. It should be scannable because automatic scanning systems scan CVs, right, to make sure this is the relevant one for an HR at least to look at. It should have a summary and should be simple. Now we will go into each of these points in details. So it should be single page, that's what we already discussed. 2 pages for very experienced guys, 10 plus years in the industry or freelancers with a lot of projects. Next point, it should be scannable. When systems scan your CV, it makes sure it has the name, something in bold, highlighted at the very top of the page, and contact information at the top. Then it should have a summary. It's good if you have it because it should highlight the most important information. And then this order, right? Work experience, relevant skills, education, achievements. Achievements is something you shouldn't miss, and that's like a very important one. We'll get to it a bit later. And speaking about summary, this is one thing that a lot of people still don't really get it right, how to use it. And still add a lot of water, I would say, to this part and say something like this lady, Kate, right? My name is Ekaterina and I'm a UX/UI designer and web designer. I have a higher art education, right? Like, you shouldn't dwell on all these details in your summary. No one will read that. Like, no one cares what kind of education. Okay, they might care about your education, but this will be an education part, not in summary, right? You shouldn't say what courses you completed in your summary and that you're so attentive to details, so creative, perseverance, initiative. This is again all water. Okay, everyone says they're all stress resistant and things like that, right? So my recommendation for summary to go with the most relevant stuff only. And what is relevant for HRs? If we go back to this slide. They want to know how much experience you already have. So it might be worth mentioning if you've got more than 2, right? You say 2+ years say it even if you have like 0 years, because that's still impressive, 2+ years. Anyway, you could have worked on freelance, and for designers it's easy to enter any freelance project. No one will check if you've been helping your friends or someone on freelance. So you can say, start from the strong step, right, from the strong note, and say you've got 2+ years of experience, and then immediately go through the domains, what domains you already worked in. Fintech, big data, e-commerce, for example, right? Konstantin might mention fintech, banks, banking, right? Cool, he's got such an interesting experience there are so many fintech products on the market at the moment, right? He might mention it in summary, and then my project, something like span from non-profits to startups, maybe SaaS applications, maybe enterprise projects, right? You work for enterprise, so you can say from startups to enterprise, non-profits. Just mention what kind of companies you worked for, or was it a digital studio? So briefly, just the type of the company or the type of the projects, right? So it's very good to mention something with complex business logic anyway, because like 90% of projects that look for a UX designer, these are some complex solutions. So you can say that you're good in working with complex stuff, right? Complex business logic, complex technical projects, something like that. And then you can mention B2B, B2C things if you worked for a certain type of projects, right? And it's cool to mention that you work for customers from the United States and Europe, so you can handle, dialogues, communication by yourself. You don't really need assistance at every step of the communication process, right? This is good to mention anyway, and I would say this is what you should mention even if you have like 0 experience, because I watch how people mention all this stuff. They have some vague experience in freelance, they already land middle UX designers jobs. It's just important to be able to speak about yourself in this way, and no one really cares and will not check for these details. They just want you to be proactive, right, and to be able to handle these things. So this is the kind of an example, right, of a summary that you can extract some ideas from, but of course you can customize to your needs. That's the idea, right? The idea is there. Try to leverage something from this summary.
Advice how to improve the CV, because I want to use it and send for HRs.
Yeah, so my last point from this deck of slides is it should be simple, and by simple I mean it shouldn't have any unusual fonts, images, text boxes, even some icons cannot be rendered by the automatic scanning machines. And then if you have a high percentage of things that are not readable, then it will just go to the garbage bin, right? So you should use clear headings, white space, obviously, and clear formatting. So if we look at Marina's CV, I would actually omit these icons and would not use them, because that looks a little tiny bit old-fashioned, like retro things that used to look good, but for contemporary, UX, especially UX designers, maybe UX UI as well. The trend is towards minimalism, using as few icons as possible, just black and white usually. You can still keep blue, because blue is like blue is a conservative, good color for a CV. You even have a gradient. Okay, so if you are more towards UI positions, that's fine. If you want to show your visual skills, right? You're good in visuals, but I don't know, guys, what's your opinion? What other guys think? Would you keep this gradient, or would go to a more black and white style?
But there is some opinion saying that it's better the CV is like white and words look like that. It's better than when you're using a Canva or or something else for your like to show your expertise in some kind of, I don't know, a design.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if this information is correct.
Mm-hmm. Well, as a reference, as a template, I would recommend using something of this kind. This is what UX designers use a lot, very simple black and white style, and still some bold headings, right, highlighted in bold. This is the job title that you had working for some projects. And then you've got this summary, skills, tools, achievements on the left, some of your contacts on the right at the very top. Looks very, easy for the eyes to look at, to read. You shouldn't make out what are the icons someone used there. So you can copy paste this CV to your Figma file. I can also share a link. Oh, that looks more like what I'm talking about, right? Black and white style. Yeah, cool. Be careful with making it smaller or bigger, because something can just be tweaked. Yeah, thank you for sharing, Alexandra. Anastasia kind of gets it right with this yellow and blue. Love these touches. Sort of a little touch of a yellow, a little touch of a blue. Bold headings that are very easy to understand. What is what? Where is each section? Cool. So, okay, if you want to stick to the icons, you can keep the icons, but I just wouldn't use any icons at all. Just like, this Anne Brown, the one for my sharing, she just put some links at the very right, and you can just click them. They should be clickable, and navigate wherever you want. Change these links into words, right? If this is Figma, say my portfolio in Figma, right? And the link just leads you there. My portfolio in Dribble, or just Dribble, Figma, LinkedIn. Right, when you speak about your work experience, it's good to use this STAR approach framework. Have you heard about STAR framework?
Yes.
Yeah, everyone have heard about it. So try using it when you talk about your product. So it's good to start with what it is. MetaMouse, okay. So Marina immediately says she participated in the launch of a financial crypto MVP products. Okay. Well, I would appreciate if Marina says a little bit about the product, what it is, right? Is it so like I worked for a platform for this and this, right? MetaMouse is this and that that helps customers to do this and that, for example. And then what she did, cool. She lists all the things, and then some achievements at the very end, because STAR means situation, task, action, and result, right? What was the result? Interacted with the product team. Well, that's good, but if she highlights why the company benefited the team from her being there, that would immediately catch my eye, and I would think, oh, I want to talk to Marina because, well, she's such a cool asset for the company.